Hello, welcome back. 1st of August, so the 1st of the month means stamp it like it's hot. This month's prompt is using household items, and August is also 31 days of cut files. So today's cut file is this one here from Confessions of a Paper Addict, COAPA, and it's their stitched star cut file. I'll link the cut file in the description. I'm just starting off by spraying the cut file in different inks that I've got. So I've got the Hero Arts two-tone inks. I've got a Prima ink there that I've had a while. Some Dilutions, some Distress Oxides, and also splatter on some Lindy's Stamp Gang magic powders as well. Doing them at different heights from the piece as well, so you're getting different types of splatter, and then on some of the splatters there I've sprinkled the Lindy's on to try and get a bit of reaction from that. So here's my stamping using some household items. I've actually got a rubber band from some posts that we received wrapped around a stamp block, so just using that to stamp some lines on the back. I've then got a dish sponge just to sponge some bits around the edge of the star, and then finally I've got my fabric conditioner lid, my trusty fabric conditioner lid that holds my Tombow glue. I've also found out actually it's really good for running over the top of a stamp platform to get a smooth image instead of pressing down all over it with the palm of my hand. So they're my household items I'm doing my stamping with, and I'm just going to do two edges, miss an edge, and going in just so I've got three sort of areas of stamping for the grounding for my clusters, you'll see shortly. And then just use black Memento ink for this as well, because at this point I thought I'd done everything that's going to be wet, so I thought my Memento would be okay. I also don't like stays on. I know it's water fast, so if you do decide to go in with any more splatters then you're okay, but I don't like almonds, so I don't like the smell of stays on. I'm just going round all of the edges of the star cut out just with the sponge there, and then I'm gonna stick this back onto a piece of card. Now the star I've cut out of mixed media card, and with adding all that ink to it I needed something that's a decent weight. I'm sticking it onto a piece of white card out of my stash, which is a lighter weight from a cheap pack of card I picked up once. And the reason I'm putting it back in is because I am actually going to raise the stitch star after I've done the stitching back onto the background. So here we are going through the embroidery flosses. I actually wanted to use a black embroidery floss and didn't realise until I come to do the stitching that I didn't have a black. So I've used this grey that I've got. It's kind of like a greeny grey, and I start off with chain stitch, and so I do a little bit of each stitch here to show you, and then I go and sit and watch Good Omens 2 with Mr. Ding and did the rest of the stitching. So chain stitch, just coming up the second hole, going back under your previous stitch and back down the same hole again, and you just do that all the way around. This is a much easier way of doing chain stitch than I learned when I was learning to sew when I was younger. Thank you very much, Paige Evans, for showing me that way of doing it in one of her videos. This next row I'm doing in white, so there's 3 rows of stitching on this star. You can take rows out, you can resize it. I do just running stitch to begin with, and then whilst I'm doing my 3rd row, which was back stitch that I'm about to do, I realised I didn't mean to do running stitch on that white row, and I do unpick it in a minute. So back stitch, just going, we start off one hole down the second, so you're going to go up a hole and then back towards your previous stitch, so you're just going to have a continuous stitch. So up hole 2, down hole 1, up hole 3, down hole 2, all the way along. So here I am unpicking. So this is split stitch, which I do with the white, and you're going up the first hole, you're going down the third hole, and then you come back on yourself and you go up the second hole, but you split the stitch, so you need more than one thread in your needle. So I've used all 6 in the embroidery floss for that. It looks like back stitch on the back, so it's basically what the other side of back stitch if you do back stitch neatly. So there's all 3 rows finished in. I did all the colouring and the inking before I did the stitching because I didn't want to go over the stitching. So I'm just sticking this down now on top of 3D foam back in to where it got cut out from, and I'm just going to get some 3D foam pads just to put on the end of the points of the star. I do that all the way around. So the photos, so I'm losing weight quite at the minute, and after having a telling off from a nurse because of my type 2 diabetes was kind of out of control. My first goal was for something that starts with a 1, and Tuesday last week I hit that first goal. So this is just documenting that, and I've took a picture of the scales. I had to stand quite far back from the scales because they're reflective, so you would only get my phone and my arm and nothing else in the picture. And I don't mind, showing my weight on there. At the end of the day, I'm quite open about it. I started at 24 stone June last year, lost about 1.5 stone from just uncontrolled diabetes, rapid weight loss, and since February I've lost, I can't do maths, but more. I've lost 4 stone in total anyway. So yeah, something that started with a 1 was my first goal. So 19 stone, 12.8 pounds. So you're looking at just under 280 pounds that I'm down to, which I'm delighted about, which is why I wanted to document it. So this is the bit where maybe I shouldn't have gone in with Memento, because I am going to do some splatters. What you just saw me doing as well is with liquid pearls. I started off with an white acrylic paint pen. It didn't show up, I wasn't happy with it, so I went and got my liquid pearls and Nuvo, and I've done lines in the liquid pearls and saving the Nuvo to do the dots in, because the liquid pearls doesn't dome very well, so I'm using that for drawing my lines when I want something that's not black. So yeah, just using the Vicky Boutin watercolours here from I think it's Sweet Rush, and what's the latest one, Where To Next. Just using them to do some splatters, and I'm just going to back the pictures. So I'm just sticking the pictures together. I was just giving you a close-up there of my weight and my little screenshot of my Fitbit congratulating me from hitting my first goal. So yeah, really happy with that. Now I'm just using scraps from Sweet Rush to back the photos, just pulling them out. I had no real plan of what I was going to back this with or how I was going to back it. I just wanted something with there being 2 different size photos, just something to join them together and make it cohesive. So I do end up then backing it all onto this blue, and just to try and get things straight, I do take that piece I'd already stuck down off again. So yeah, so that's that all backed, and then I do put that up on 3D, so it's another layer on top of the star. And then when I do stick that onto the star, I do end up deciding to put it over to the right. So under the foam pads, under where it's going to be hanging off the right, I do put another 2 foam pads to give it the double height to pop up from the star. Trying not to shift position because of the old squeaky chair, but I can't help it. So these are some wax seals that I made off camera, and I'm just showing you that when the wax was still warm, I dipped my finger in the Lindy's magical powders and run it over the top of the wax seal, and that really made the embellishment pop on it. Just pulling off some embellishments off these puffies here. I've took off some arrows and hearts, and then the title's going to be yes exclamation point. And I took that from the letters stickers that have come from this Sweet Rush collection. So I'm going through the embellishments now, just pulling out what I think I might use on the page, sorting them all out onto my tray so I can see what I've got, and then anything I come across that I think, oh, I'll use that, I'm just going to put that directly onto the layout so I remember what I've picked and I don't end up having to go through the tray again. These were all just loose in my collection box for this collection. I think I've actually put them all back in a wallet when I put it back in, so they're not flying around. So yeah, just gonna, first off, I'm gonna stick the title down. I use dimensionals for this, so these aren't quite as high as the 1"6" foam pads that I used for everything else. So it does give you like a third layer, but it's not as high a layer as the previous two. And yeah, just, you know what, I end up trying to stick this straight and I really like it wonky from how it looks in that picture then. I regret actually sticking it straight now. I should have left it wonky. So yeah, just sticking the title down and then going through the embellishments and deciding where I want these. Okay, this is a do what I say, not what I do moment. So that journaling card that I've got off to the side underneath the scales, I actually stick that down before I've written any journaling on it, and it's up on foam pads. So yeah, if you are going to stick things on foam pads that you're going to be writing on, I'd suggest doing your journaling first. So just tucking my wax seals in there to the 3 sort of the cluster points, so the points where I've got my stamping meeting my star. That top bit of my star keeps popping up, so I've just waxed some Tombow on that. And you'll also notice as well I'm using a bulldog clip there, so my new mission to actually use them. Oh, sorry, ice cream van. So yeah, so the mission is to try and use the bulldog clips, and so I kind of liked, it's a blue, so I thought it looked quite good there. I've cut the ticket piece in half, so I've got a bit at the top and a bit at the bottom. Just at the end of the day, it was too big to stick all the way under the picture, all the way under the clusters, so I do cut that in half. I pop my 3 hearts on from my visual triangle. One of them does end up moving, and then I've found these words on the sticker sheet that I wanted to use, so I'm just scattering them about as well. Do end up, yeah, one of them's going sort of like hanging off, so kind of making really tiny bits of 3D foam here, and so I can layer up 2 layers on top of that word because it's on top of the photo mat, on top of that embellishment cluster, on top of the photo mat, so it's double layer up. And then again, cutting bits off where you're not going to see all of it, and I might use that on something else, or it's going to be tucked under and something's already stuck down and you can't fit it under all the way where you want it, so just trim it off. So peacocks are something I am never going to use, but then I thought, you know what, it's kind of like, I don't know, I thought it was like hope celebration kind of thing. I don't know, I think I love it, I think it looks great there. And then just lifting that heart up there to put this sticker on. I do end up, I think, layering that with another one under it, I can't remember. So yeah, just going through all the different types of embellishment with this, so the chipboard pieces, the sticker sheets, the sticker books. So yeah, I do use 3 of the flowers here from the chipboard, switch around because of the colour of hearts that I've got. So we're nearly done, and just wanted to say thanks for watching, and please like and subscribe and check out the other hops. All the links are in the description. Bye bye.